Alrighty, guys. We are West Coast Eagles Nest. My name is Hisham.
My name's Nick.
And I'm Hassan.
And we just finished up Sunday Night Football, Eagles Falcons at Atlanta.
Hurt to watch.
Yes. So we just wanted to give a real quick hot take as far as what we saw, things that we liked, things that we think we need to definitely improve on. I think this game was one of those games where it was just painful from start to finish. I don't think we ever felt comfortable in that game whatsoever, whether it was the lead, or whether it was Wentz driving the ball, whether it was our defense and our secondary, which again has been the constant problem all season long. So.
And the thing is, it's only been 2 games. It's all season long because it's like that. It's been like that for the last 2 years. So, yeah, I agree, Hash. I don't think there was nothing set. I don't think Dougie P was able to have his play calling that he wanted to come in the game with. It was thrown out after like the first couple of minutes after all these injuries happened. So,
I agree. I mean, and you know what? To tell you the truth, I'm kind of upset and disappointed in what some of the team did. Alshon, I understand, hamstring cramps. Same thing with Deshaun Jackson, groin. My thing is these guys need to be taking care of themselves. It's a long season for us to, drop a game like this where we really could have used both of those receivers, quite heavily. Dallas Goedert, same thing. Take care of your body, hydrate. Condition. This is what we need to prepare for. Mm-hmm. I understand, Atlanta is sweltering. It's that humidity is going to kill. But honestly, there's no excuse for, this many players to drop out right before a game starts. It was just disappointing and frustrating to see. I mean, I know Carson may do with what he could do, but, even him, I felt, Carson was lackadaisical, had a, kind of like a scared look in his eye almost when he was playing. It didn't seem like he had that confidence going out.
One of the biggest things that I was like getting frustrated with in the game, and this is something that I pointed out, but they were projecting exactly what the hell they were going to do. Like every time there was going to be a run play, they made sure it was obvious for the defensive line for the Falcons to read them like a freaking, like they could read the playbook. They could see that they were going to run it, and they could just double up on coverage and just block them every single time. I know they got like movement with Miles Sanders and everything like that, but at the same time, when you're making it that obvious, you're not trying to sneak the ball around. You know what I mean? You're not trying to trick, I guess, the defensive line and get past them. It's going to be, you're only going to get so far in yardage. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I'm going to touch on that subject as well. They're saying that the Eagles have the best offensive line. People around the league say the Eagles have the best offensive line, but man, they were letting Carson Wentz get hit. My boy, everybody was going down with concussion, injuries. And then the thing is, we have Miles Sanders and we have Jordan Howard, who you trade for, and this dude rushes 8 times, and there's no holes for this guy to run through. And so they're saying that the Eagles have the best offensive line, or one of the best offensive lines, but it's not even showing in 2 weeks, and it's unfortunate,
Oh, big time. I agree with you. Lane Johnson really didn't show up today. I mean, he was not there.
Jason Peters.
Isaac Samalu. I think he had maybe about 6 penalties for holding. I mean, It was just, he was getting abused.
Sham at one point. There's a flag on the play, and he shammed right off the bat. Fucking Isaac.
I already knew. Once the flag came out on that, I believe it was a Miles Sanders run for a first down. As soon as the flag threw, I was like, "It's Isaac." I'm telling you, it's Isaac right now, and it was him drawing another holding penalty. And it's just frustrating to see. He's one of our guards, and he needs to be better. He needs to step up. Brandon Brooks was probably the only decent-looking offensive lineman the entire game. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, even him, he had some struggles in the game. Yeah. I think the problem is that, we all talked about it. I think talking about the game plan, we were all mentioning how hungry this Atlanta Falcons team was going to be going into this week.
Exactly. After
And
the loss.
we still looked at it as if it was going to be an easy game for us to take and win. And it wasn't. And I knew it wasn't going to be. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. They were going to be rocking over there at the Mercedes Dome. We kind of came in with this idea that like, oh, we don't need to take care of our bodies. We don't need a condition. So that's just my frustration and disappointment with this game. Going forward, I'm looking, forward to next week to Detroit. And you know what, guys? I'll be honest with you. Detroit just beat the San Diego Chargers. Chargers are a good team. The Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are a good team. I mean, they're a great team.
All the real ones know that the Chargers are from San Diego.
I mean,
yeah.
It's just going to be frustrating to see because if this is how the Eagles perform, away against the Falcons, I want to see how they're going to be playing and preparing for the Lions because the Lions are not going to be an easy play.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough team, and then even after that, we have a game against the Packers. Like it's weird.
Week 4, Thursday Night Football. It's not going to get easier from here, and conditioning, taking care of the body, that's going to be a big thing of getting our players healthy and making sure that they can stay out there.
It's going to be up to the medical side of the team too to make sure that the players aren't
and not even the medical
putting
team,
themselves.
but
No, because
themselves, the players themselves.
No, because I will put it on the medical team because I kind of partially hold them responsible for like the things going on with like in the years past with like Carson Wentz's back and stuff like that. Like they're one of the reasons why he was playing injured. He was playing all jacked up, and they were just like, "Oh no, just go in. It's cool. You'll be fine." You know what I mean? So it's on the players. Like obviously, for your own longevity's sake, for being an actual football player, if you want to last, you want to play for as long as possible and stuff like that. You got to take care of yourself as much as you can. But at the same time, the team's medical staff also has to make sure to have these guys at least cognizant of their own like limitations and making sure that they're taking care of themselves, because sometimes when you're training, all you have is just the grind in mind, and you can't like take the step back and look at it from the outside and stuff like that. That's what the medical staff is hopefully there for. But.
I mean, yes, medical staff is important, but I mean, you're a player. You know your own body. You know your own limitations. Going into the game, what body part doesn't feel right, what you need to get worked out on, what you need to stretch. I mean, the thing is that a lot of these players did not have any sort of injury designations going through the whole week. And then for you to be out right before the game starts, after the game starts, I mean, it's just, it's unfortunate, it's frustrating. I mean, I think we all feel it as fans because we want to see the best team being put out there every single game. And, not having our full starting lineup 100% healthy, it's just, it's frustrating. It really eats at us.
But I think it's like, it's endemic of the entire NFL. Like there was just everyone was getting rocked by injuries today. Like, I mean, yeah, I know we're focusing on the Eagles predominantly, but at the same time we got Saints lost Drew Brees potentially today. The Steelers lost Ben Roethlisberger. So it's like, I know it's going around and stuff like that. It's just,
yeah, for sure. And I mean, injuries are a big part of the game, which is unfortunate, but in the past, especially when we won the Super Bowl, it's the next man up mentality.
Yep.
And that's what we have to have going into the Lions game on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we're coming off this heartbreak loss, I mean, that first half was just very bad. Again, last week was very bad against the Redskins, and then in the second half we came out and we showed a little promise, but we can't keep coming like this every single week. They need to come into the game with a plan, and they need to execute that. We cannot be going into the half down 17 points, down 10 points, and it's not going to work, especially when we go on the road Thursday Night Football against the Packers at Lambeau Field. Like you can't cut it, especially not with Aaron Rodgers. And the biggest thing about this game is our defense. Honestly, they kept us in it, except for that secondary. Again, that secondary with, not trying to bash, but Ronald Darby was just, oh my goodness. Yeah, you had a pick, but come on, man. They were scorching you, and they knew, Matt Ryan knew where the plays had to be drawn, and they had to go directly to Ronald Darby.
No, I agree. I mean, it's there. Like, I mean, this is what we were fearful of, was our secondary getting eaten up, and I mean, it happened. It is what it is. The one thing I would say is that we got to look towards next week.
Yeah.
And look and prepare for the Lions. And when I say prepare for the Lions, not only game plan the actual, the game, but also keep our players healthy. Look at it, keeping these guys hydrated, keeping them, good, stretching them out, not working them too hard. I mean, it's a grueling, tough season, and I don't want to lose our guys out, and I want to be able to put the best product out there when we play week to week.
Yeah.
So that's be one important thing.
And that's definitely what we're gonna have to find out. With tomorrow. Hopefully, when they run tests on our players that got injured, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, it doesn't come back as a big injury.
Exactly.
Hopefully, day to day, week to week. But yeah, I mean, I agree. We have to come into this Lions game with the mindset of it's a new week, it's a new team, and we have to strategize against this one team. So I mean, I'm hopeful, but yeah, this game was very unfortunate, very heartbreak of a loss.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I think a lot of the fans were a little too excited, too cocky going into this too. I know a lot of people were storming Atlanta, and we had a lot of support going in there. But I mean, that team's a menace. Atlanta is not a joke. I mean, they played with the desperation that we knew they were going to play with, that they needed to play with to be able to get back into the season, and it showed.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention too, or one thing I want to talk about, guys, is some of the good things that we did see. I think we did see some nice plays from Carson, even though from all the bad stuff that we had in the first half, it was just.
I was like, Carson kept going
for that first half that we had
against
Washington. We thought that was bad. This was, this guy could outdo himself. My God. And it was just a terrible first half for Carson. One thing I did like was, Carson's willingness to run outside the pocket. I mean, because he had to, because, the O-line was collapsing. But let's talk about that pass that he had to Matt Collins. I mean, this guy was at his knees. Right before getting down. That was getting crazy.
I thought he was going to propose to me. That's what he was trying to get down on his like that, man. But
seriously.
Wow.
I mean, no, it was insane. It was a great athletic play.
To Nick, he was going to propose. To other people,
no.
Yeah, no. Carson Wentz, you love to see it. So it was there and it happened, and he extended the play, and that's definitely what you want to see from Carson this year. He's not scared of getting hit. I mean, he's getting hit from behind, of course, when the pocket is collapsing, but he's able to take the hit, and he's able to extend the play like that. It was amazing. I mean, it even showed up, too, when he scored that first touchdown to Nelson Aguilar, and he went for the 2-point conversion, but it looked almost like the exact same play that he tore his ACL when they went up against the Rams 2 years ago. So at least you can see that Carson is he's not going in with that scared mentality. So I mean, I love that he's bringing his game
fearless.
back like 2017, and hopefully it continues to go like that. It's just that he had great plays, but we still have to we have to look at those plays in the like I said, you can't go in the first half down 17-3, 17-7. You need to make sure that you show up from the first point of the game to the end of the game. But
we can't keep doing this, coming back. Everything.
And last year, the biggest thing about the Eagles last year is that they could not score in the first quarter. Man, they were always playing from behind, or they were always not scoring in the first and going into the second quarter, and that's when they would actually score. So, besides Carson Wentz, though, I think he had a great second half. The first half was just bad with 2 interceptions. I think he cleaned it up a little bit in the second half once he got in gel with his receivers, because he didn't have his wideout 1, wideout 2. So I think he was able to.
I think it was the adjustment. The adjustment had to be there for him. Another big shout out to Nelson Aguilar. I think he had a really, really good game, having to step up into that wide receiver 1 role, and I think a lot of people didn't expect him to be as productive as he was. But I think he had a nice overall game. I mean, he had that really nice catch on 4th down that led us back into the, that pretty much gave us life.
It gave us something, it gave us life for a little bit longer.
Into the game.
He did have that drop though right before where he was open, man. That down the sideline he could have ran it in. Man, but yeah, no, I agree. He stepped up to the play and he finished over 100 yards receiving, which is really good to see for Nelson Aguilar. And I think last week on our podcast we definitely mentioned that we wanted to see Nelson Aguilar step up. JJ Arcega-Whiteside unfortunately didn't get as many reps in, but or as many catches. But yeah, I agree. Nelson Aguilar was on point today, and it's good to see. It's good to see that he's getting his time and he's able to make some plays with it. So yeah, there was a lot of bad things during the game, but there was also a couple good things that we were able to pick off from the game. So.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So that's gonna be it for today's podcast. We got next week against Detroit at Detroit. We'll try to give you guys
I think that's it's at home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you're right. You're at the link. It's at the link. I'm sorry.
So week 3 at home at the link against the Detroit Lions. So, we'll give. We'll see. We'll see how that game turns out. But heartbreak loss today, but just got to continue going forward with this season. So.
All right, guys. Till then, we are West Coast Eagles Nest. Please follow us on our Instagram
at West Coast Eagles Nest.
At West Coast Eagles Nest.
Like, share, subscribe. You know the drill.
Yeah, guys, and please, like this video. Comment down below if you have any, gripes you want to get out about this, this game that we had and what you look forward to.
I want to see if I can get at least 5 people to shout out Zendejo for sacking Matt Ryan.
Oh, that was good.
That was a nice play. That was a nice play. All right, guys. Till next week.
All right, later.